Hi, this is Pradan from Control Trends, and I'm extremely happy to be associated with Lynxspring. As in my journey across all the countries in finding the best product lines, I stumbled across Lynxspring. With me right now are two legends, absolute legends. One of them, to my left, is Mr. Terry Swope, who's the president and CEO of Lynxspring.
Hello. How are you doing today, Samir? Glad to be here with you.
Thank you. And to my right is Mark Peacock, the Mark Peacock, whom you know.
Oh, thank you, Samir. Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. You're too flattering, Samir. Delighted to be talking to you here at AHR 2016. Tell the folks a little bit about AHR and why you're here.
Yeah. See, AHR is a place which is the biggest, mightiest, the biggest and largest HVAC&R place. I think the best talent, the best product, the people and technologies is all here. And I'm extremely happy and proud to be associated with Lynxspring, because after careful evaluation of our 6 months across so many control companies, we said, hey, let's work with Lynxspring and bring them to India. So I would ask a few questions to Terry. Terry, tell us something about Lynxspring and how do you associate with India? What's the India story for you?
Well, I'm glad that you asked that question, and I'm going to kind of switch to last night. When they were talking about AHR now is like 89 years, I believe, is what they said. And I got to thinking, first time I went to HR was in 1979. Fresh out of college, young buck in the engineering consulting business. Well, if you go all the way up to today, we realized that about 10 years ago, 15 years ago now almost, isn't it, Mark? That we needed to do something about controls for our customers. And we listened to our customers in our consulting base to determine what was the best for them. In the last 15 years, we have lived through the development of the Niagara world and how it has become the most ubiquitous middleware on the market, rising to the top OEM for Tritium, purveying the Niagara, to today, of which you're going to get an opportunity to see where we have taken the terms Internet of Things, big data, and how we have embraced that newest technology and focused it down into the intelligence of things is what I think our customers really has made us who we are today.
Awesome. Mark?
And I think to add to that, Samir, is, we've known each other for a while now, and on your role as CICC, Managing Automation Technologies Managing Director, you've been very vocal lately in writing some wonderful articles on the Internet of Things and affecting buildings and commercial facilities. And one of the things that you and I have discussed over the last several months is how India and places in the Middle East like Dubai and Abu Dhabi and a few other places in Northern Africa even, where the building automation systems and the technology is now starting to unfold and become more prevalent, especially in India, where there's major initiatives going on for smart cities and starting at that ground root of buildings a little bit.
I want to also add to what Mark has said. In your original question to me, Samir, we live in such a small world today compared to what it used to be. There was so much differences in the way different states, different communities, right here in the United States, dealt with things. There were so many different protocols that were out there. Our customer base were going enough's enough, and we listened to them to develop what we have today. I think now we're seeing, I don't even like the term international business anymore because we're one world, right? And the needs in India are no different than the needs in America or any other country for that fact. And we see ourselves truly as a world-based organization. where we're breaking down all those barriers from a technology perspective. But at the end of the day, our main goal is for the betterment of the human race. In other words, how can we live together? How can we have better life? We need to take this to every country that's out there. And we need to make it affordable where it can be done. And we need to take a look at things that other people don't look at in that betterment. And so working with your company is something that we really would embrace if that were to come true. We know that we have brothers and sisters over there that will bring much value to this relationship. And I just wanted to point out that we're no longer, this is American heating and refrigeration. It literally ought to be international heating and refrigeration show.
Awesome. Coming to Mark, I mean, Mark, could you just explain to us a few of the product lines that?
Sure. We offer Genesis, which is an open building automation system powered by the Niagara Framework, deployed in thousands of commercial facilities, including buildings, hospitals, retail, universities, education facilities. And it truly integrates and brings together all the different disparate systems from HVAC, lighting, access control, irrigation into one operating system for a building. We've recently added and launched a couple new product lines for us going from the edge to the enterprise, if you will. Onyx, which is a whole new system of hardware platforms and things that we've brought together for reaching out to the edge and bringing up to the enterprise. And then part of the new things that we've all starting to see now that we've brought to facilities and buildings is data and analytics. So we've got Connection, which is our data and analytics cloud type of environment that connects with the Genesis building operating system and Onyx products to bring in this unified system. For cybersecurity, which is very important of late, especially in building systems, we developed about 3 years ago Lynx Cyber Pro, which adds additional security protection for building automation systems, energy management systems. And so that's kind of in a high level, if you will, brief overview of some of the many technologies and products that we offer today.
Sure. At this point of time, Indian market basically had, everybody was an isolated island. The only openness people talked about was BACnet and how BACnet could change the things. But we all know that BACnet stack is not always open, and you always have the open and interoperable problems that are still there. So choosing Lynxspring, we had these open issues and these things. So I think that was the most wonderful thing that you got. Terry, I have a question for you.
Yes, ask away.
See, India is a large country. I don't really compare that with United States, but still,
it's a very large country.
Yeah, it's a large country, and see, people. A lot of companies have been successful. People who can give excellent support, service, simpler engineering tools, simpler software tools. So, how do you plan to take the India?
I'm glad you brought that up, Shamir. We endeavored this year to address issues related to service and support. I think lots of companies do that. A term you hear oftentimes is a center of excellence. We've created an entire ecosystem in our company called Intelligence Engagement Center. And what it is it addresses the entire customer experience, all the way from soup to nuts. What's the first call? What are the things that we can do to take your environment, your attachment with us? And that includes education. We want to be the most educated company that's ever walked the face of the earth. And so we've engaged in educating every single one of our employees, starting with a cultural aspect of enumerating 7 habits of highly successful people into every part of our company. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to offer 7 habits of highly effective people to every single one of our partners at no charge to you. We want you to be able to create a language that we all can communicate regardless of our native languages. Then we also want to be the most highly technical advanced company that's ever walked, working with open societies like Haystack, to name it, BACnet Society, the Lawn Society. We truly want to be protocol agnostic so that you can cross all boundary lines in your country, but at the same time be able to answer questions and help you be successful. So we see that our success is 100% incumbent on our partners' success. And we want to be able to be there and provide them everything. We won one of the most prestigious awards in 2014 by Frost & Sullivan for customer support in our industry. We don't think that's good enough. We want to be better than that as we move forward. Time and time again, when we talk to our customers, they tell us that customer service is really what they need. Technology is technology. We can solve a lot of things with technology. But at the end of the day, it's partners working with partners to provide you with everything possible for you to be successful.
Thank you.
To add that, I'm going to just step in and add something on this. As our partner, and we are delighted to have you guys as a Lynxspring business partner. We're extremely excited, and we look forward to working with you and your customers as well. One of the important things is training, and as part of something that we've worked out with you and your company is giving you advanced training in the technology so that you can then offer that training to your many customers and throughout your ecosystem throughout India, Dubai, and the places in which your organization is going to be operating.
Yeah, because the operative part of this whole the success story, as we all have been discussing, is going to be the training, empowering people on your feet on the street, as they say. Yes. So your partners essentially.
Yeah, just to add to that, and I know I'm kind of repeating what Mark said, we totally believe in train the trainer. And so what we want to do is we want to be there with you. We come to India, we help you establish where your training program needs to be. We want to train you and support you so you are self-sufficient in your country and the other countries that you do business in.
Thank you so much. Terry, there is one more thing that typically the Indian customers are interested is, let's say the first, nobody wants to be the guinea pig, okay? And I mean, this is a request that I'm carrying forward from a prospective customer who in the next 2 to 3 weeks has promised to give us an order.
Yes.
Yeah. He said, can you have somebody from Lynxspring to come and help commission the first system?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we have a professional service group, and that's exactly what they are into. And it can be anywhere from just an adjunct of your ability to oversell your own labor force, all the way up to and including your first project support to come in. And so on-the-job training, nothing takes the place of that, and we want to be there. Let me address deeper, though, as again, in my own personal career, now that has spanned almost 35 years in the engineering business, first as a mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineer, understanding the building systems and the intricacies of such, then moving into controls and where we are. Lynxspring possesses 15 years of experience of system-type projects. It's one thing to build computers that have control algorithms. It's entirely something else to get them to work for the benefit of the customer. And that benefit must carry many, many plateaus. Is it energy efficient? Energy efficient sometimes is contrary to customer comfort. So it's got to be friendly to the user. It's got to be comfortable. It has to be energy efficient. It's got to be effective. It's got to be self-commissioning over time. Those are all the things that we take a look at. And again, going back to training you and being successful starts with your customer. I believe that we are second to none when it comes to system experience in our industry, and we're anxious to show other people how to be successful with it, such as yourself.
Awesome. So, Mark, could we have a quick look at the stall, some of the
Absolutely.
great products that Lynxspring has?
And things like that, yeah.
Hi, I'm now at the Lynxspring stall, and I'm with Chris Ryan, the guy for the products, and welcome, Chris.
Thank you very much, Samir. We're going to talk about the new products that Lynxspring has released recently, and that's actually coming up on the schedule for us. And why don't we just jump right in?
Sure.
All right, so let's start with the Onyx line. Many people are familiar with Niagara, and Onyx is our desire to take that type of intelligence down to the edge. We want to scale down and get down to where we can have these smaller application-specific controllers or equipment controllers. So the very first product, and I know I'm reaching across the board here, the very first product that Lynxspring came out with was CyberPro. This is a cybersecurity solution to avoid the pitfalls of trying to go through firewalls or try to get through a VPN. This product communicates with the cloud, and you don't communicate directly with the product until you make that connection with the cloud. So the software that you're running on your computer to connect will connect to the cloud will validate who you are, then open the secure tunnel with the device. The great thing as well about the device is that you only have access when you connect to the devices that you've programmed into it. So if there's an IP address on that network that you haven't programmed into this device, you can't see it from your laptop. Helps aid in that security. We know that once you're through a VPN or through a firewall, you have access to the entire network. Well, we wanted to lock that down even further so you can only see the devices that you actually have programmed in there. The next product I'm going to take you to is the second product that we came out with, which is our Modbus to BACnet bridge. It's exactly what it sounds like. It pulls in Modbus and spits it out BACnet. We had one customer that had a great need for this, so this was the first product that we developed after CyberPro. And what it allows you to do is you get in, and it's a very simple interface. You define what the BACnet devices are. Sorry, I take that back. You define what the Modbus devices are, and then you define what the Modbus points are, and it automatically creates a BACnet device to model that Modbus device. It's very cool, again, because it's virtualizing those devices. It's not spitting all of those Modbus points out as a single BACnet device. Each Modbus device is represented as its own BACnet device so that you know where the points are coming from and where the data is coming from. Next here, we have our BACnet to Haystack bridge, and this is a product we just released into beta. It should be available commercially on March 1st. And what this does is it pulls in data via BACnet. It allows you to tag it with Haystack tags and then spits it out to a Haystack database. And again, that's a push, it's not a pull, so it's doing a push. A lot of times you have an issue on networks trying to do that pull from the network.
Yeah, Chris, for listeners and viewers in India, you know, Haystack, Project Haystack is new. I mean, we don't have a Project Haystack. So can you just throw a little light on Project Haystack?
Absolutely, Samir. Project Haystack is an organization over here, and the end goal is to make it easier and save time on the job. It allows you to tag up data with whatever metadata you want, whether it's location data, equipment data. Do you want to define something as a VAV or an AHU? It allows you to define that and then send it to the database, and it makes it that much easier to work with the data when you already know what it is. Somebody doesn't have to go through the front end to figure out what a device is or what a point means. You can tag something as a set point. You can tag it as a temperature point. And then whether you're running analytics, creating graphics, whatever you're doing with that data, it makes it that much easier to work with the data and save you that time. The next product that I wanted to talk with is our cellular router. Now, this isn't breaking any boundaries when it comes to cellular technology, but we had a demand from our customers when they go to a job site and there's no internet access there, or maybe they can't get outside access from a customer's IT department, they wanted a cellular solution. So we've teamed up with Verizon, and right now we're currently a tier 1 provider with Verizon. And the really neat thing here is that we actually have created a private area network. This means that your data is going to be secure on that network. When you connect through one of our cellular routers, you do not have to go through the consumer network, the typical public network. Your data is going to be secure by going through that private area network. And the really neat thing, again, with Onyx is we're going to be able to incorporate all of this technology into a single device. If you wanted a BACnet to Haystack bridge with a cellular router on it, we could provide that for you. It's all a matter of flipping the right switches in the software. The last product that I want to talk to you about today is a product that we have in alpha. This is our IO34 controller. It's in alpha. You may not be able to feel it, but it's 3D printed, so it looks great on the screen, but not when you get really up close. But this came out of a need for intelligent I/O. What we're doing, again, is taking that intelligence that you have at the middleware and the enterprise level and getting you down to the edge. And this has got 6 points of digital output, 8 points of analog output, and then 16 points of universal inputs. You can define what those inputs are based off of your need. Ultimately, we're writing a CAN bus driver for this, and you're going to be able to chain up to 8 of these together CAN bus, if you're not familiar with it, is typically used in automobiles. It's a very low overhead protocol, very reliable, very fast, and it's the perfect thing to make these I/O communicate to one another. So we could start with a smart I/O here, and then 7 dumb I/O after it, and this is your powerhouse, all of that. Now, where does that data go? We have BACnet coming out of it. BACnet's one of the most popular protocols out there, so you can feed BACnet directly out of that into whatever front end you choose, or hey, why not send it through a BACnet to Haystack data pump up to the cloud?
Hey, that's awesome technology, Chris. I mean, these are so many things which are practically new. I mean, I have been in the industry for a long time, but I think you just knocked the senses out of me. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Samir. We're excited about what we're doing, and we're even more excited about the future and hope we can knock some more socks off. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.